Thank you, Mayor and Council, for the opportunity to speak this evening. Tonight, I'd like to direct my remarks to our firemen and police officers who must be asking themselves this question. Why is it the police and fire are not paid first out of the general fund before paying all of the many other municipal uses and expenses that also look to the general fund for support? I want to point out a clause from a municipal contract that amply demonstrates why police and fire are not paid first. And I quote, "The corporation, as a matter of right, without notice and without giving any bond or surety to the town or anyone claiming under the town, may have a receiver appointed of all of the excise taxes and the state shared revenues with such powers as the court making such appointment shall confer, and the town does hereby irrevocably consent to such appointment." In this context, the corporation that is granted this extraordinary power over the town's funds is a bond trustee that acts on behalf of the holders of the town's outstanding bonds to be sure the bondholders are paid. This clause is from the 2009 town lease that is used to obligate the town to pay the 2009 Municipal Public Facilities Municipal Property Corporation bonds. This clause is from Article 5 of the town lease regarding remedies upon default. The bottom line is that under this contract, if the town ever defaults on its MPC bond payments, the town has already irrevocably consented to the appointment of a receiver to step in and take control of the general fund. The town consents to have a receiver appointed to take over the excise taxes and the state shared revenues of the town, and that is very powerful, to take control over the two largest sources of revenue in the town. With this clause in place, most certainly the town will always make these payment obligations. No question about it. If the town stops paying, not only would it reflect badly upon the town's credit rating, but the town would most likely lose control of its largest revenue sources. Clearly, the town will always make sure that the bond trustee is paid first and foremost and is paid timely. Unfortunately, the police and firemen do not come in first in this town like the bond trustee. Until the police and fire get a clause in their contract like this, they will not be paid first by this council nor by any town council for that matter. Instead, public safety will continue to be used as a political ball, tossed around by everyone, council included, to justify additional taxes, additional spending, additional budget cuts, additional debts, more bonding, or for whatever else may be politically expedient at the time. The clause should read, should the town ever fail to fund its police and fire, the town irrevocably consents to having a receiver appointed of all the excise taxes and state shared revenues with such powers as the court making such appointment shall confer. I know a commitment like this would be difficult for the town to commit, but my point is this: our police and fire should be treated at least equal to a bondholder, if not better. Unfortunately, it is not often what happens here in Gilbert. Support our public safety personnel. They are much more important than funding any of the town's pet projects.